Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Scion the Tower, a game in which our two heroes have quickly risen through the path to apotheosis and are just on the cusp, but are starting to kind of get an understanding of how the politics within the divine realm seems to work. And it seems that, of course, while we know that not all of the individual divines get along, there are some people who may be attempting to overthrow it. Last time we met, our two heroes very much came in contact with one of these people who put to them, "Do you want to be part of this regime to like overthrow?" They were like, "We have our own plans. We don't need you," and so they began doing their own plans. Before we continue, as always, it's more important to get to hear from the people who are actually going to run the story. So this time, let us start with Crow. Please tell us who you are, who you're playing, and any pertinence you would like to share with the peeps in the interwebs.
Hello, hi, I'm Crow. I am playing Rex. Uh the kind of same pronouns. I don't have any pertinence right now. I trying to remember, is this no, this week is not The World Below. That is next week. Next Thursday, it should be earlier at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't have anything else. It's been a while. I can't wait to get back into whatever shenanigans we're about to get into.
So am I. I think it's going to be very fun. Zachary, please tell us who you are, who you're playing, and any pertinence you would like to share.
My name is Zachary Nalder. I am playing Bodhi Lee, the born scion of Tara of the Past. Uh, I apparently yellow was a bad choice because the my ring light is shining right here, and it's looking at myself is almost blinding me. Um, if where else you can find me on the BS site at Zach Rules. I'm not really there. I just lurk some time, occasionally posting pictures of my new tattoos. Um, I've got three in the coming week scheduled, so we'll see how that goes. Anyways, yeah.
Beautiful. So last we met, you had the fated meeting with Yuri, with Dracula, with Zalmoxis, who revealed to you that she was part of an order called the Keepers of the World, and said, "We this whole shenanigan that has been Atusa the last like 3 or 4 years has been kind of like her baby in order to like guide you up to not only make you stronger, but to show you that the gods don't do anything. Why do we worship them? There may be another way." Of course, she was being very cagey as she was only allowing certain information until you agreed, which you did not. And so she ousted you from her realm, to which point you went back home and rested for the evening. Uh, it's the next morning. What would you all like to do?
You first.
Bodhi's not really sure what she's gonna do, like, because she's used to there being something out of the ordinary to have done. Because it's been such a long time that she's had a normal, quiet morning, and she's almost forgotten what that means. Um, so yeah, she's gonna do her meditation thing, and kind of see how things, or what the world gives her this morning.
Okay. You meditate, and this is, like you say, the first time you've been able to receive prayers where it hasn't been like there is a Godzilla like in the center of a Tusa. There still are some prayers for like help, but like nowhere near the level of anxiety that has been coming. One that does stand out is, there are a few sailors out in the sea. They're kind of like going into a storm, and they're like, "We plan on fighting this storm. We're going to make it through. We're hoping that we can be safe, but Nothing too out of the ordinary.
With the world, the state of Atusa being what it um, is it? I do have to ask: is it reasonably safe for these sailors to be traveling the ocean at this point in time? Like when she left the husk that was their little pocket realm that she created that nobody else could see.
Right.
Um, did Zelmoxis like wipe out the island or anything, or do anything that like, or is like the sea relatively calm?
Right. Okay. So that's pretty something for you to figure out. The island is gone. Um, give me an nine. Yeah, I will say, and then either you can like travel there to like get a better view of like what it looks like now, or you can just kind of roll an occult and cunning check to see if you can like figure out from where you are.
Okay. Do any dice in play on this? Probably. Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That is 3 successes. 2 of those are divinity dice.
Beautiful. What purviews do you have again?
Item fertility, beast, death, epic stamina, health, and fertility.
Let's do death. Um, as you become closer and closer to the Attunement of Death, you're realizing that even before that island was built, there was this aura of death around it. It was very ancient, it was very light, but it was always there. It's gone now. So Zalmoxis not only took the island, but took whatever rune carving, whatever like ancient symbol of divinity that was there.
So she still got something out of it. It's just not fully what she wanted. All right.
Uh, Other than that, you would assume that sailors, not under the machinations of a god who uses another plaything, should be able to handle a light storm.
Yeah.
Um,
All right. Well, so we're gonna after meditation and morning prayers and chores around the temple, making sure getting good, with have some FaceTime, remind the folks there that this is the temple of the divine.
mhm.
She is going to reach out to Silas.
Okay. Reach out to Silas, and usually he answers like first half of the first ring. This time it's 3 rings. Oh, hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Uh, I stayed up late last night trying to do some stuff. I'm still kind of asleep. Sorry, Bob. How can I help you?
What'd you do? Did you get anything fun done last night? Yeah.
No, I was like kind of setting out some information about that family. Cartwright's, but I don't know. I got some like good responses. Yeah.
All right. All right. So remember how I've been having you keeping tabs on the cult of Mara, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Got any news on that front?
Was be thinking for a while. I was like, I I do. Are you ready to hear it now?
Yeah, what you got for me?
So he starts talking, and he starts saying the Kotomara has been attempting to summon entities, but he couldn't figure out which one.
Uh-huh.
And he think he's finally figured out who it is, but something's different. He looked into it, and he knows that for some reason they're attempting to summon the Naga King to cause chaos, but
Yeah.
it's different this time.
Okay. We got any details on a why?
Why the summoning, or why is it different?
Let's go both. Let's go why the summoning first. What is this group's objective?
He wouldn't have been able to figure that out.
All right.
He, other than just like, we don't like things. He assumed it was a deeper one, but he wouldn't be able to figure out specifically why this summoning of the Naga King. But he can tell you a little bit of what is different. Because the Naga King, as the name would imply, king of all Nagas. However, they're not summoning like this whole army led by the Naga King. They're attempting to infuse one entity, one being, with the hatred and power of the Naga King, backed by their arm.
Hmm. And who is this Naga King?
Naga King,
Not Naga King. Who is
mhm,
this person that they're trying to infuse the Naga King with?
they don't have that person yet,
Okay.
but they're actively searching.
They, as in the cult, is not
Yes,
found.
apparently they have everything set up. They just need a proper sacrifice and then to actually do the ritual.
Oh, good. Where are they set up?
So I think some of the higher ranking officers would have the ritual implements. There is a zone uh, somewhere out closer to the docks. I think it's in one of the actual like places where you store things being transferred.
So they got a warehouse, but we don't have an exact location of the warehouse.
Right, but like at the docks, like I would stake my life on it.
All right. Well, we're gonna go. Looks like we're snooping around the docks today. This will be fun. All right.
Then he says like, remember, if you need any help, like just let me know. This has been like, I knew why I worshipped you when you were a
Yeah.
human.
I mean, you got some names, you got some details on people involved in this cult, right?
I have some chat room names.
See what you can dig up to um, cause some less than pleasurable online experiences.
And do. And that's what Sas will be doing today. Just kind of like slowing them down a bit
All right.
with the power of the internet. And then you're headed to the docks, you say?
Yeah, we're gonna head over to the docks and snoop around.
All right. So as you head to the docks, what is happening in the Kingmaker's Palace?
Kind of doing a debrief.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, things have changed for Rex, and he's trying to put it all together. Um, he's taking notes. He's still trying to. Okay, let's start from the beginning. We got set up to be potentially demigods by a few power players, one of which doesn't even actually believe in gods, but apparently put us in the position thinking that we would side with them to shake up the system. No, not even shake up the system, tear down the system, even though they actually benefited from the system. So the math is not mathing, but I'm not Dracula, and I'm just not going to go and try to untangle that. However, I feel as though there is still an element here that we are missing, not related to Dracula and the machinations of whatever organization or not organization that she or them being plural, are involved in. Oh my God, this is so stupid. This is so stupid. Okay, all right. Okay, Bodhi's probably doing her thing. I'm not going to bother her. Okay, and he's just gonna go downstairs. Gonna move past his boys because it um slowly but surely has been trying to allow them to gain certain parts of themselves back after he realized who he was
Mhm.
in general. So he's trying to allow them to like get themselves situated like, hey, wait a minute. I'm actually kind of supernatural. And he just is not touching that. He's just like, I'll
Yep,
let
yep.
them sort that out. Um, so he's kind of been, for the first time, anonymous around folks. Just back to being behind the scenes, even more so now, has headed to Doug Towers.
Okay. Are you actively like hiding from people, or like if someone like comes up to you, would you like not talk to them?
I would talk to them because
Okay.
it's just like I still have to talk to them.
Every more well, I guess this morning, as you leave, Officer Thompson is there with the box of donuts.
Oh, I keep forgetting that I have a cop as HR who is kind and has donuts. I'm so hi, hello.
I know you got back late last night, so I didn't know what flavor you wanted, so I just got an assortment.
Oh, you are so kind. And he's definitely taking that regular chocolate donut because he has not had that in a long time.
Yeah.
Going on, oh my God, going on. He doesn't even know how many years he's been doing this. Just, oh, why so up late or early? Why up early?
Oh, I'm just used to getting up early. There's still things that need to be done.
Right.
And she'll just kind of like look at you expectingly.
Oh, okay. You're looking for me to give you a mission. That's what you're looking for.
Isn't isn't that how this works?
Yeah, technically, yeah, that's kind of how this works. All right. Actually, I do. And you're probably the perfect person for this. I'm unconvinced that I'm convinced that maybe one part of our power players have kind of fallen off the map and just decided, you know what? I don't want to bother with you all. There's still a part that is irking me in my bones where I know there's someone out there who's just like, they're coming up with something.
Should I reach out to them?
Do me a favor, look through all, like, any strange crimes past 3 years, something that is just looks like it's a pattern,
Okay.
and get back to me something that looks more, by strange I mean magical.
Mhm.
I could be wrong, but as someone who's one of his things is being an adversary to different folks, I can tell when like a piece is being moved, and it feels like several has been moved.
So strange magical crime from the past 3 years.
Yes.
Okay. Um,
Specifically, if it seems like it's from like one of us. a pantheon, if fair, especially if it's established. Because if
Okay.
any Roman gods are running around and declaring dominion silently, it's something like that. Anything close to that.
She's on it. And she'll go and do that research to get back to you by the well, I was supposed to have like a full day to like figuring shit out.
Yeah, she I'm not going to rush her. I am going to call Bodhi.
Bodhi, on your way to the dock, you get a call. It is raining, not significantly, but like noticeably harder now than it was when you left.
Okay. Answers phone. Hey, what's up?
Okay. First question, how are you?
I'm doing okay. Um, there's not much really going on. So being a little proactive with some things.
He is just going to go. Second question, does it feel like it's too quiet? Does it feel like we solved our main issue, or does it just feel like there's something we're still missing, even though we solved one half of it?
So what part of it do you think needs to still be resolved? We've dealt with the Cartwrights who were, I mean, they weren't nice people, and they we've given them the opportunity to reflect on, well, given some of them the opportunity to reflect and do better. Others are where they should be.
Yeah, yeah, sit through hellfire and stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're
Yeah.
crossing thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and then so there's that, and hopefully the city will sort itself out without. Um, I mean, they have lost their richest citizens in the past. Uh, it's been about like hasn't been that long actually. Yeah, has it? It's not probably like a year since.
Right.
Yeah, so um, hopefully the city will work itself out with that. There's that. But then there was a lot of the influence of a lot of like the noise and the chatter and the bullshit that was going on in the city was the workings of Zelmoxis, right?
I believe so.
Right. So you know, like like a dog with a toy, its favorite toy that it plays with that toy as long as it can, and then when it loses interest, it goes off and finds another toy. Well, Zelmoxis had interest in the city. Now she doesn't. So she's off finding something else to really just wish I didn't refer to the city as a squeaky toy just then, but I mean, the city stopped squeaking for her, so she's off to find something else to squeak. So yeah, with her gone, I mean, looking back at it, we can trace all the fucked up shit to her for the past, we could probably a lot of all the divine shit for probably a couple of years. So yeah, I think if she's got moved on, it should be quiet. We got
Okay.
maybe there's somebody who was, knew she was around, was keeping quiet, or has been plotting some other shit. Well, because others have been distracted by her bullshit. Uh, that might start creeping up in the coming weeks, months, years, maybe. Who knows? But that, speaking of which, I got to lead on a cult. So I mean, if you really want to test waters and see how think back to normal things are, we got some detective work that tracking down a cult in the docks in the warehouse region by the docks. So
Oh,
yeah,
you know.
Mara, Buddhist god of death,
Oh,
deception, trickery, overall
normal.
asshole.
Right. Normally that would worry me, but at the same time, it doesn't because it seems so normal at this point.
Yeah. Plus, he failed. You know, he took he had like 1,000 weapons, and they brought to try to kill Buddha, and couldn't. So
True.
sent his daughters to try to seduce him. They failed. Yeah. So yeah, his ultimately, he's a failure. And maybe the cult needs to be reminded of that.
Okay. I don't know. It's just been because of doing this job for how long we've been doing it. It just always feels like there's another thing or there's another thing that if I don't get it or if we don't get it, we're always reactive, not proactive.
Well, the cult is trying to summon a Naga King. So if we stop the cult before they summon the Naga King, there's that.
There's that. Okay. I was gonna go with the Doug Towers who fidget finish or work on Project Guardian, but like I can stop a cult.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? This is probably going to be a normal day. Nothing going wrong. No omen of doom. Just regular cult wrangling and looking out for Alex.
He's there watching you being creepy, but hasn't said anything.
Okay, great. All right. No omens being called in. He's just holding his breath and just like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna pack up. I will head to the docks to go fight a cult summoning the Naga King. This all right. That's not worse I thought I would have to say, but at this point, I'm getting sick of snakes in the city. We might have to do a thing about snakes.
Fair.
All right, you know what? I'll he says it's as she's going through one of the bathhouse to get to like the closer part of that part of the city. He's just going from one point A to point B.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm heading there now.
Bodhi, as you hang up, you hear lovely, lovely music.
Oh, goody.
And sure enough, if you look down, you see someone in green galoshes, in a green raincoat, strumming away.
Hmm. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
And to you, how's the day treating you? It's a lovely day. If you like a little bit of rain.
Well, it's like rain on your wedding day. Too many people think it's ironic when it's really just unfortunate. Yeah.
Lovely, well, very well said. So what's occupying your mind today?
Well, there's apparently somebody trying to, bring in a otherworldly entity into the city that cause chaos and destruction. So, yeah. looking out for that, and see what we can do about it, and to avoid that from happening.
Without missing a strum. Like, what makes you think an otherworldly entity is entering this world? Where did you hear this from?
I got my sources, but I can't really say definitively that until we get to clarify the details. But yeah, why have you heard anything?
I've heard some things. Problem is, the place where I hear things from, depending on what it is, the source is known to be full of deception. So who knows if you can believe it?
Yeah, no, well, it is a deceitful thing. Yeah, when the king of illusion is also the one who delights in destruction. Um, it certainly does make for an easy way to kind of, influence and steer things away from other targets. Um, just generally being, deceitful. But if not this, what else, I mean, I could always, go sit under a tree and meditate and ponder the meaning of the word if.
Perhaps you would care to listen to a song.
Of course. What do you have for me today?
Just something I've been working on from a story from my past. I would let what are your callings?
Callings, Hunter, Psychopompin, Monster.
Either hunter or monster. Add that to culture.
Divinity Dice.
Yep.
I mean, that would essentially just be my calling dice would be my Divinity Dice.
Yeah.
All right. Oh wow. I don't know if you can. I always heard, but I never wasn't sure this could actually happen. Um, that's a botch.
Huh.
No successes and a one.
I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so you get
There's two momentum right there.
two momentum. Yep. Up to four. As you're listening, you're just getting more and more frustrated because like you've tried to listen to this stranger's music before. Clearly there's some connection, but like you don't have time to figure it out. Like there may or may not be like something happening right now, and you just don't have time for this nonsense. And of course, with that block, even if you were to stay and say it, like you just aren't able to let in the information.
Yeah. Um,
Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, I just remembered something. Rem Remind me once again your purviews.
Purviews are fertility, beast, death, epic stamina, health. Uh, yeah, that's it. I was about to say fertility twice.
Okay,
And but yeah.
so we're going to go with beasts on this. As your perhaps burgeoning mental anguish is starting to affect the critters around. And Squirrel just running around constantly in this area.
Hmm. Or they're still doing normal squirrel stuff. They're not like climbing
No,
telephone poles and biting
they're
into the electric wires and shorting out
they're
half the city.
panicking without causing harm to themselves or the city. They are like running into the streets, climbing telephone poles, like jumping off to another telephone pole, enough so that like if you're watching, you'd have like little heart palpitations every time they jump. Like, no, don't jump. Okay, you're good.
Yeah. Okay. My friend, Ether, the squirrels really do not like your music.
I must agree. I guess today is not the day for me to pass on this message.
Mhm. I hope the day does come soon when that'll be the song will be played to receptive ears.
I'm sure it will.
Anyways, since squirrels are not the type of animal that I was looking to agitate today, I feel I must be going.
You have a wonderful day.
You as well.
And then continues to strum.
As continuing towards stocks, I'm going to take a moment to pay attention. Do the squirrels? Am I the cause of the squirrels' distress? As I move, do squirrels in the area that I'm moving in also freak
Yeah.
out? Okay. So it's not the song. Okay, got it. Well, Fucker is a trickster, so yeah.
And as you make your way
Totally Mara fucking with me and not a failure on my part.
fucking Mara. Rex. Alex has been following you as he is wont to do. Follows you to the bathhouse close to the dock and follows you the like 2 blocks to get to the dock. So you probably have gotten there like a little bit before boarding. He's not saying anything. He's just like watching you.
Alex, I don't like it when you just watch. Just say something.
It was not my place to say without being invited to speak, Kingmaker.
I am inviting you to speak. You know something.
Technically, I don't know anything. I am an embodiment of war. I feel something.
You feel war is on the horizon.
Yes.
Is it related to just my thing, or is it related to Atusa as a whole? Those are two
Alex
separate
knows a lot.
things.
He's also an asshole. Crow, odds evens.
Odds.
Damn it. The reason Atusa has been such a battleground recently is because Atusa, centuries, millennia ago, was a battleground. And that this cause of that battleground, or the cause was locked away. And the key in the lock of that battleground was about 40 miles to out to the ocean. That lock is no longer there.
Who established the lock? Better
He did.
question.
The Theoi
Uh,
did.
Wait, say that again?
The Theoi did.
Oh. Oh, right. Okay, I'm starting to pick up what you're putting down. One half of this adventure deals with Bodhi's 8 fears. but we're getting into the part that deals with the theoi and the conflict between gods and titans, correct?
You could say that, yes. I do think you should be prepared for what is to come.
I'm always preparing for what's to come. I'm always planning and foiling plans and working in the background and playing chess.
I apologize, Kingmaker.
What are you apologizing for?
And he bows in a way that he's never done before.
Okay, Alex, this is a new thing, and this is creeping me out even more than usual.
You're right. I should maintain the course. I'll be returning to the bathhouse. Call if you need me.
Time out. All right. Normally, I can do like your cryptic bullshit and like it'll be fine. But because I am feeling a bunch of different things and I have now reached Demigod and I'm feeling the anxiety that I felt when I first started this before, please, Uncle Figure, tell me what it is that you want to say completely on the table. I will not be offended whatsoever. I am coming to you as a nephew of war.
No, you're not. Because I think you finally understand war. And as he says that, Bodhi, well, I guess you would hear the squirrels freaking out a little bit before Bodhi arrives.
What the all right, I'll just have to do it. Bodie! He's just
And
gonna
as
run
you
over.
look back to Alex, he's
Yeah.
gone.
Oh fuck. Okay. Um. Okay. You know what? Let's start with the pertinent. Why are the squirrels squaring off like squirrels? What is this? What is happening?
I spoke to the little leprechaun guy that tells gives advice, maybe sees the future through song, and I don't know, maybe it was a bad song, maybe it was a sign, maybe it was a song for the squirrels and not for me, but they started freaking out. So yeah, oh, something's going on.
Okay. All right. There's that. There's some other important, maybe not a prophecy, but more like a final warning from Alex. But we'll get there. Naga King first. Um.
I mean, if you got a warning from Alex, maybe that's did the Greeks have Nagas? They had serpent people, right?
But that
It's kind of like a Naga. So I mean,
yeah. You know, like the whole big the grand battle between gods and titans.
yeah.
Funny story. The lock between that battleground has been unlocked. It's probably fine. I
And
just been
that's what that
preparing for this
place
for a while. What?
unlocks.
What?
It unlocks it. There was something on
Mhm.
the island, right? Like it wasn't a coincidence. None of it was coincidence. That Doug found what he found and used the things he did and built it where he built it, right?
Right.
So when she left and she took everything that was there, guessing that what she took with her was that key that thing that you're mentioning, the lock that kept the fighting at bay of some sort. So
Right. Right. Of course.
even if we didn't agree to her way of things, she still found a way of making us involved. Lovely.
I feel like she was going to do this either way. Like this, one way or another, she was going to take that lock.
Maybe, yeah.
Uh, when it comes to the Theoi, it's if I want to blow up everything, using the Theoi would probably do it by taking that lock. And if I wanted to do it, whether they were helping me or not, I would just do it. And that's probably what she meant by telling us a plan.
Hmm.
Right. That's why my aunt wanted to see if we wanted to join or at least parlay. It's starting to make sense.
All right. Okay. So,
It's fine. I got some contingencies.
okay. Um. Anyway, so about this cult, uh, it is the cult of Mara, who is I like the Deva. We like to call them demons, but um, being Titans has become the in vogue word for them. He's kind of like the king of our Titans. So I figure if there's a cult, one of his cults who's trying to summon a Naga King, um, probably shouldn't, you know, kind of thing we'd want to stop.
Okay.
Yeah. Um,
How do we stop
well,
them?
what my intelligence has told me is that they're planning a ritual to summon a Naga King into the, but instead of normally just having it manifest, they're putting it in a person in a vessel. They just haven't figured out who that person is yet. From what we can tell, they're operating the location is somewhere in one of these warehouses around here. So not the warehouse, but this. Uh, if they have the things that they need, other pieces they need, and that's just the last piece.
Hmm.
They wouldn't have all those pieces scattered around because when they find it, they want to, kind of move on it. When you have a ritual space, you have it all prepared and ready to go. When you just need the last up, you don't start putting it together once you get all the ingredients, right?
Right. Okay. So, do you want me to put a squad together and have people kick through doors, or did you want to go stealthily and just
I mean,
tackle a few people in cloaks?
I figure stealthily, for the time being at least, because there's a lot of warehouses. We kick down doors to every warehouse. It's gonna, um, you know, cause a ruckus.
Well, okay, we'll stealth. But if you need me to switch on the scary mode, I can switch on scary mode.
Oh, of course, of course. Yeah. Um, but you do have a guy that is, you got a tech guy, right?
Do I have a tech guy? I always have a tech guy.
So here's the information that we've gathered. I figure your tech guy might be able to do some, you know, tracking down and figuring out who's who and what's what. Maybe we got to username. You know, I it may be nothing, but username. Please use me, Daughters of Mara, to a bill who's someone who's paying rent or the electric on one of the warehouses and tips us off that way. So and then so she's gonna just hand over the information she got from Silas uh, to you to look up and send over to your techie.
Okay. I'm texting this information to my boy, sending it to Chris. Yeah, sending it to Chris. Uh, Well, hold on. I got him on assignment. No, I can just send it to yeah, hold on 1 second. It's Max I can send it to, Max, because Max is probably freaking out about him being king. So this should give him some distraction. Just go, hey, Max, I need you to look up this information here. It involves Naga King, cults. See if you can find any shady things, some, especially around the warehouse district. Find someone attached so I can go do some scary god stuff. Send.
Ah, might as well get on it.
Max is on it. And in fact, he has not sent me an anxiety text. So therefore, I think he's in good form.
All right, cool, cool. And then seeing it as it is the Naga King, there's always another way of luring things out. Um, and she's going to just pull out the Skyfall dagger. And the fun part of that is how all of the um, purviews change from innate powers to epicenters. Figuring that if they're in the dock area and these people are summoning a Naga King, there is a serpent-like creature somewhere associated with that. And since the epicenter of the beast purview draws wild animals towards me, we'll see if we can get draw a couple out.
You are unable to draw anything out, but just for my edification, what is the epicenter of death?
Um, Pretty much sounds like it is. What? Crap! I don't have that pulled up with me, do I? No. Um,
I also do not have that pulled up.
un momento, por favor. Um, you know, any openings, creatures of the dead come through, say hi. We chat,
Great.
we talk.
There are 4 recently dead uh entities just like hanging out in one of the warehouses, kind of like southeast of where you are right now.
Hmm.
Like
Recently
recently
done.
dead, like 4 hours, maybe 6.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we found some dead people. I'm gonna go check that out. You want to come?
Sure.
All right. And it's all in one. Um,
They're all in one warehouse.
all right. Hmm. Now, I don't know if this is the one we're looking for, but it's the warehouse that does have something interesting in it. So let's go check this out. Um, Scoping out the warehouse up from the outside. It's probably all closed up. It's daytime, which is kind of odd for a warehouse to be completely closed up because
Yep.
it's normal business hours, ships coming in, people unloading, offloading,
Mm.
kind of thing. Um,
Outside of it, there is a sign that says Doug Industries. Um, so it's probably a private sign.
Damn it, Doug! It's is this warehouse on the payroll? Do we know about this? Do we have the details on?
Yeah, you have the details. This warehouse is not on the payroll. They have
Oh,
multiple like warehouses much bigger than this. They don't need to access one, even if they're just like shipping things in.
So is this just something that is owned by Doug Industries and is being leased by someone, or is it just a forgotten?
Looks more like a forgotten. Even if you look at the sign, it uses branding from like 5 years ago or so.
Okay. I mean, some boxes that timing does kind of mad up. Some boxes could have been there, and let's or it could just be something got overlooked at Doug Industries. What else are we getting from the outside?
From the outside, you being attuned to death, you can like smell that death just like emanating from the inside. Uh, and being so close, like those four entities, ghost shades, they're all in active prayer.
I'm gonna go to a side door of the warehouse. Is it locked?
I, for human beings, yes. For you, like you sneeze on that door and it's gone at this point.
Right, right. Some I may want to, have a functioning door to close behind us after we go in, though.
Fair.
Uh, so let's see what tools we have in this church.
let me see. Um, I know we don't have it on the main books, but does Doug's brother have anything involving with this?
So you go through Doug's brother, it's like, no. Um, Doug's brother did pay for this like over a decade ago, like when they were first building their wealth. Um, but very quickly kind of stopped paying for it. However, while you're doing this research, Max would message you back and be like, yeah, um, Doug cut ties, or the doc is unaware of there being anything weird. However, Doug cut ties with the warehouse, with the ware or the doc like years ago. And then someone else just kind of like took their warehouse without filing the proper paperwork. So on the books, it says it's Doug's warehouse, but that's been used for a whole bunch of other stuff that has nothing to do with Doug Industries. They just use Doug as a kind of like scapegoat to like protect them. Because no one's going to break into Doug's warehouse. Like it's Doug.
Hmm,
I mean, yeah, but someone is gonna rip him off and go steal his name.
Doug was
right.
he wasn't a brilliant guy. He was just like a somewhat likable guy to many people.
So, if Rex has gotten all the information, or if there's more information to be relayed, but he's gonna wait for that. And if not, she's just gonna try to pick the lock with a dagger.
Yeah, this is built for people, not you. So you could easily like,
All right. So no roll on this.
nope,
Okay.
2 tiers above.
Yeah. All right. Pop the lock open. Eh, let's go talk to some dead folks.
You open up and you see that this has been a ritual site for many years. But right now, in the center, is a body within a ritual circle with four shades kind of kneeling over in prayer. Around the black body is just blood. And if you walk even remotely close, it looks like the body was split open and the something from inside walked out. And you can see like little blood footprints up to the wall.
Don't turn to Rex and be like, well, blood footprints is a good sign because Nagas don't have feet.
You're right. You see blood,
Oh,
blood slither prints. That's like I thought about that too.
watching the trail of blood, and it does it go up the wall?
Up the wall. It looks like it goes like out the roof window.
Oh fuck. She's just gonna yell over, "Oh boys!"
Then they'll all
The praying shades.
they'll all turn.
All right, so how would you like to tell me about what's going on here?
The Naga King has returned.
Yes, yes, that there's some questions here. So first, let me you understand what happened. Why weren't we informed? Why didn't was we're gonna need some details here.
Ultimar is one of deception. Even we don't know when things truly happen. We just wait to be informed by our leader. And their leader is sacrificing their body for the Naga King.
So the whole fact that you're now dead was a surprise to you.
It was a surprise, but not one we were unwilling to give.
Oh, okay.
I will say, you do not see their bodies. You just see one body.
Right, no, yeah, I get that. So Rex, what do you think? Should we try to get some information out of them or
You know what? We can good cop back up this. If they don't give you any information and give you a little lip, I can just throw them into a certain place where they will experience the most luxurious torture that anyone can ever experience in afterlife. So yeah, you should ask him a few questions, and then if not, I can just he opens up the little gate, the little window. I have Auntie on standby.
Right there.
all right, so you now know the terms. Um because even though you were devout to um followers of the one who delights in destruction, um you now understand that if you don't work with us, we're going to send you to an underworld where he won't be able to reach you. See, if I send you to one of our underworlds, he's Titan of Death. He can find his way into uh, however much you may be accessible to him in the underworld of ours, of the past. He can't help you there.
He will tell you whatever you want. The ships that have already fallen. Is that a saying? That's not a saying. You know what I'm trying to say.
All right, so you weren't the only ones.
We were the only ones here today. We were chosen.
You were chosen because you were convenient to the location, or because you were thought of as disposable. 'Cause, I mean, let's be real. Why would he? He wouldn't choose the people who were leading the cause, those that were out there recruiting and bringing others into the fold.
Our leader sacrificed their body. So if the leader is worth a sacrifice, why would we say no?
Okay, taking a step back then, who 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 was the second in charge?
So they'll all say me and then like look around each other. And then kind of bicker. Not like a heavy bicker, but like no, but like I did the whole potluck thing. Like you weren't even there. I started like 10 years before you even like heard about a little bit like trying to figure out who actually is second in charge.
Okay, so who was missing from the ritual? Who do you think would have been here who probably should have been here instead of the person standing next to you? What? Who were you surprised that was not here, and the person to your left or to your right was here instead of their place?
So three will keep quiet. One will say, well, I was actually told this ritual will be very different.
How so?
Um, I was told it was more everyone would be here. There would be chanting. Um, I was told we needed a very specific song and that the leader was looking for that song. And as they're talking, someone else would be like, I was actually told it required a sacrifice, but the sacrifice had to eat very specific food. And as they each start saying their story, you realize like they all were told something completely different. One from each other and two from what actually happened.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So how about you explain the ritual then? Tell me about it.
I'll reply in the ritual.
All right, let's hear the ritual. Tell me how it went, how it worked, how it went down.
Oh, it was very simple. Apparently, the leader had been doing something or something happened. They did something before they even got here. And by the time they came here, they said, plunge these daggers into my heart, one after another, and then sit and pray no matter what befalls you or those around you. And so we did.
So you sat and you prayed as someone ended your existence, your mortal existence.
But the leader transformed into the Naga King
Uh-huh. And ate your bodies?
for sustenance, yes.
Okay. So the ritual was done before. before you arrived then, and it was just you being eaten. You were just here for food. You were the ones who showed up.
We infuse our faith into the leader through the stabbing.
If your faith had required that, then why did it just eat your body?
Because we willingly gave our body to the Naga King.
Right, right, but when you give over something so valuable as your body yourself, you give it entirely. You didn't give up your full self. You didn't truly let go.
Well, because we still had to stay and pray, so we stayed to pray.
But you haven't fully given yourself over. You haven't fully committed it. Or were you just not worthy of joining the Naga King, only fulfilling him physically, but not spiritually? Your souls weren't suitable for his needs.
Three of them start to sniffle, coming to this realization. One stands firm and says, I was not worthy for the Naga King, but that's not the point. I gave what I could. I was never to be worthy of the Naga King. Other three are less sure.
What do you think, Rex? Like, any, anything else that, we want to get information out of them?
Okay, let the recap again. You are the rejects of this cult. You've given your body up without any signs of payment. Looks at the body, and I'm guessing this isn't even an actual vessel and might be another reject. What did you guys actually get out of this? I think that's what I'm stuck on. Like, usually, if you sacrifice yourself, it's like Valhalla, or you go off to do any other places, and you're stuck here praying over this body.
That is our role in this.
Wouldn't that feel like someone is fucking with you? It's just,
That, that is what our role is. We
how
will
don't,
sit here and pray until the Naga King returns.
would you like a new role?
Well, you say that you're going to stay here and pray until the Naga King turns. However, you've missing an important part here. She's going to walk up to the one who actually kind of gets it, who has kind of almost unwittingly embraced the idea of no self.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you thought you were doing the will of a trickster of an adversary, but more importantly, of the one known for death in the Pantheon. And unfortunately for you, that is no longer the case. She's going to reach out, place a hand on his forehead where it would be because it's
Mm-hmm.
a shade, so it's not really. Um, and we are going to use a marvel to send him off into the underworld.
Yeah.
I'm going to send it to Narak, the worst of possible places to be born.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that he can move on and start working on his next life and developing this sense of new self that he is kind of got understood but isn't quite getting it
Right.
completely.
All right. Goes on fate, just kind of accepts his fate and moves on.
Now the rest of you, you gonna stick around here and pray?
I feel like at least two of them would just try to run, and the other one just kind of shell shocked there, like not really sure what to do.
All right, yeah. Let him run. Go over to the shell shocked one.
Mm-hmm.
Take a hand and kind of move its face, and so that it's not, make sure we have eye contact here. Um, so tell me, did you show up here in your robes? You came here in your robes. You traveled here from
I brought my robes with me and changed outside.
outside, like in a car, or like
I walked.
you walked from. Where did you change?
Oh, I changed outside.
Like just outside and brought your stuff in here. So somewhere around here is your car keys and your wallet,
No,
and
I didn't bring my car keys or my wallet. I was told to leave all that. I walked from my house here.
so you've got nothing on, nothing here.
That is correct.
So out of curiosity, who's gonna know that you made this sacrifice?
I was told my sacrifice wasn't to be known. I was just giving to the restoration of the world.
Oof.
What's your address?
I need to tell you the address 15 miles away.
Okay. So what is it that you want to happen now?
I want the world to be a better place. And then I will take my seat at the top of this place.
At the top of this place. Well, it is good news that your sacrifice will not be known. And unlike your friend who just went to a place where Mara, upon getting news of the failure, will have the opportunity to lash out and take revenge, because Mara can never accept that his plans fail because he's a failure, and not because uh, who always blames the tools, the underlings. We'll make sure you go somewhere where he can't get you.
Just thank you, and
And she is just going to grab the shade and kind of shove him towards Rex, and the portal that Rex has opened up.
and then the realization hits, and then the begging and the pleading, and
Oh, this is not a casual drag.
I figured, yeah.
This is just like a as much as you can grab a shade.
Yeah, just like,
And well, being death purview and that kind of thing. She actually did with dominion death. She actually probably could, but she's just gonna just toss him.
into Tartarus.
Yeah.
All right. You've kind of figured out what's happened. As you kind of finish that up, you get a message from Silas that says, please watch my live stream now.
I'll pull it up.
You would, but you hear a whispering coming from the sea.
Bodhi, hold my phone. I feel like this is a private moment between you and Silas, and I'm gonna go find out if the sea's talking to me, or have I finally lost it? And he's just gonna go outside.
All right.
Right. Yeah, I think it's about like halfway through. We'll stop then, and when we come back, we will figure out what is going on with these two whispering / live streaming events. See y'all soon.
Be right back.
And welcome back to Scion the Tower. Rex, you go outside, and I mentioned it was a light storm, like hurricane category 1. Like you, at this point, you kind of want to start bringing in boats. It's not great. It's definitely escalated much more than anyone expected, but still not that bad. But you look at the clouds, and there is a figure forming in the clouds, kind of above where that island was. And as he's forming, he's just yelling the name Zeus.
Poseidon, is that you?
It actually, it looks, and this is gonna sound weird, like ancient Zeus. Like there is like English and then Old English. This looks like an ancient form of Zeus who is furious.
I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with this today. All right. He's trying to get his Greek together. I, in the roughest translation that you will possibly ever hear from someone, hey, my guy, I need you to come down here and talk to me like a regular person, all right, man to man. Yeah, yeah. I need you to come down here and like whatever this whole screaming match to the sky thing is, you're scaring everyone. You're scaring the hoes. I need you to come back here and like let's just like not do this. All right. No, none of the hurricane shit. All right. This is not the turn of the century. This is kind of like way past that.
And then for a split second, he's able to like come down from his rage and make eye contact with you and has this like look of recognition. And then he dissipates into the clouds.
Are you fucking kidding me? Okay. Can we be normal for 5 minutes?
Y'all got like a full like morning today. This is like the best it's been for years. Bodhi, you see Silas. He set up his phone on his stand. And you've known him long enough to know that like he is in a very particular like emotional state. He is in a state of confidence that comes immediately after intense fear and like a primal like mortal fear of his life or death. And he stands it up and he starts to explain. He's like quickly going through his life as a influencer, his relationship with one fitness influencer named Bodhi, who changed his life, and how he has no fear of death. And in fact, he's going to show everyone this so that no one ever fears what the gods can do. Do not let them sway you. And as he's talking, the door slams open, and behind him is a massive serpent. And then he just goes to wrestle. And as he's wrestling, he is still attempting to reach out to people to say, do not look away. We are not in a world of safe. We have to take control of our fates. Please, please, please do not forget your connection to the gods. Within about 90 seconds, phone falls over.
As he's doing this, as he goes into, as he's going in and uh, to fight this giant serpent who is probably there to kill him. We figure that's the goal. We are going to take that opportunity away from the serpent. Taking the Skyfall dagger, she's going to plunge it into the corpse and channel um, death and take out Silas before it can happen.
Okay.
And Silas just drops dead.
So there is wrestling, and as the snake starts to get the advantage, Silas just seemingly gives up as you are able to rip his soul from his body before this entity is able to consume him.
Yeah. And yeah. I'm gonna dial up Silas. So this entity is now there hearing the phone ring.
Okay. And it looks at the phone, and you can see because it's still live streaming. There is intelligence behind the eyes, but it doesn't seem to care about the phone, and very quickly slithers away.
Well, that is unfortunate. How warm is the body that was used in the sacrifice?
This body probably died uh like before y'all went over to the island last night,
All right.
but not long before that. It was definitely last night.
So it is probably likely that the body that the soul of this leader is still around and kicking in that serpent creature.
Yes, assuming it didn't like feast on his essence, then yes.
Okay. Again, we're gonna try this trick again. Who reincarnated? And using that title and both the purviews and dominion of death and health, I'm gonna try to put this body back into the soul back into this body.
Gotcha. So you spend a legend. You're able to get what remains of the soul back, which is not much.
All right, yeah. And then we'll spend another legend to send that soul, what is left of it,
Mm-hmm.
directly to the Great Crying.
Intense. All right. You take the remnants of the soul and transport it to the Great Crying.
Huh.
I will say, the remnants of the soul that we're able to recover, there is something that is emanating off it that feels foreign. So it's not part of the soul, but likely just part of the environment where the soul was. It is this intense hatred and need for destruction.
All right. Well, somewhere around campus, there is a Naga running around that has to be dealt with, which may or may not have been weakened after that, but we'll find out shortly. We'll check in on Rex before we before she heads over.
Okay. Rex, you are outside. These clouds are start to spread all over Metusa, and the door opens, and out comes Bodhi Lee.
Trying to think how Rex would approach this. Would he be more concerned about? Would he be more concerned about what happened on the live stream because he didn't hear that, and probably would want to check on Bodhi, or is he more captivated in like in his um going into his unk phase, complaining about both the weather and also dealing with family members? And I'm like, okay, I know where he's going. Okay, first, before I get into it, how are you doing? What's happening? Is the boy good? Did he get locked in the did he get locked in the van again? In the trunk?
I don't know. He's dead now.
What? Wait, no, we're not gonna blow past that. Hold on for a second. I'm gonna get back to you, my guy, in just a moment. Don't think I haven't thought about you yet. Yes, I'm yelling at the clouds. No, wait a minute. What do you mean he's dead?
Oh, the Naga had targeted him, and he decided that he was going to stand his ground and fight.
Huh?
And I needed to let the Naga know that I could not be hurt by coming after someone who I may have an attachment to. So I took him before the Naga could.
Oh,
He may have some issues with that. He wants to go down fighting.
right.
Or he kind of did, but not in the way he meant to.
You want to get your lick back?
And it's less about that and more the fact that there's a monster bent on destruction by the campus.
It's
So
always the campus. Always the campus. We always gotta deal with a monster on the campus. Yeah, yeah. Uh,
the kids they get into things, you know. I
yeah,
mean,
but
like you said that I did some shit when I was in college, that maybe wasn't certainly not the most legal. Um,
I mean, same, well, I didn't really finish college, really go. Kind of hung out with other people who actually went to college, but that's not the point.
yeah.
But yeah, but it's just, but it was never like, oh, we summon the demigod or we summon the grand spirit of like test taking and torture. Like it's like a weekly thing with these kids. Hold that thought. I'm looking back to see if Zeus still fucking off and doing whatever Zeus is doing. Old Zeus, quote unquote.
Uh, Old Zeus. One, you can tell, still seems to be formulating.
By the way, I'm dealing with that sort of situation. He's over there pointing uh to Zeus, like cumulus cloud forming
Mhm.
Zeus. So that situation is starting to form.
All right. So this is did he just say Zeus?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is that not Zeus?
You know, some days I think, when it comes to the theoid, sometimes, um, you know how you reincarnate it into you and you plan on doing whatever it is that you plan on doing with
Mhm.
your whole thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sometimes that happens to us unwillingly.
Roll me, if you would,
Okay.
a culture intellect roll.
I got you. Um, so 3 10s on the divinity dice. And then they rolled again. So 5 successes.
Okay, so 5. With that, you do remember at some point, maybe it was Aphrodite, somebody like deep in this shit mentioned like if you talk to Zeus, only talk about things now, don't talk about how he was a different person back then. And what you thought was, he grew as a person. But now, knowing what you know about Zeus, he doesn't fucking grow. He doesn't change. You're wondering if he was legitimately a different person that through fate has incarnated into an actual different person.
Yep, no, that you know what that stands to reason. I think that's old Zeus, and I think he's kind of pissed off that new Zeus is around. And I think that happened because of a certain someone took the lock off the damn door and released all the hells out. So someone is letting all the cold air out.
Okay.
Let's go deal with your thing first. Your thing feels like it's immediate and we can handle that. That just feels like he needs. Do you need me to call someone to help you process this, sir? And he's saying this back in like ancient Grecian,
Um,
as if that would translate well.
right, yeah. Okay. You get the feeling that the cloud is looking at you, but no response. We're
Give me
not
a
even
cloud
like
release.
you were not even one of those.
I think at that point he's just like, you know what? I think he is just formulating a process. And I feel like by the time we get back from dealing with your thing, he'll still be processing or causing a hurricane. Either way, it's going to take some time.
All
I'll
right,
just make a
sounds
call
good.
to someone.
All
Yeah.
right, that's fine. So yeah, let's go and check things out. Okay.
Okay. Fortunately for you, guess what I did?
What you
Uh,
do?
I kind of drags Bodhi over, heading towards the bathhouse. Opens up a new, doorway, and it's weird. It goes into an archway. We go through like one doorway, and then we end up on the other side. He opens up a door. We're inside a locker room. Okay, so the city council was always asking me to make a bathhouse in certain places. However, due to like zoning laws and every other confusing things, they put it off through like one of the gyms near campus. So that's kind of how we have it. If the place anyone asks, this is just a legit gym. This is nothing else. I am not signing any more paperwork. I did my job.
Mm, you built a campus, a bathhouse. Okay.
Well, not necessarily me, the city. It's kind of weird dealing with city planning that really it's because of like two of the guys really hit it off at the bathhouse and then like they just never ever stopped talking about it. And like they put it in the city planning like thing, which is not really legit, but it's also legit at the same time. So I didn't question it because like bigger stuff was happening.
Okay. Okay.
Just going to awkwardly open the door, has like a bag packed. Okay, so where's the snake?
Demigods with the backpack just strolling out the bathhouse. Wonderful.
Wouldn't be the first time.
All right, you make it out. You make it to campus. It is shockingly quiet. There are some people who are like looking for where uh Silas's dorm is.
Like students.
Yeah, I mean Silas was fairly popular.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So since we know where Silas's dorm is, we're just gonna kind of walk.
And there is a small group of people outside his room, kind of like looking in.
I'll clear them out. You go and you handle the room.
Did any of y'all think to call this in, or are you just standing around watching and?
I mean, there's not much to call. We called police, so like the campus police, but like there's nothing's really happened in there. A few things are knocked down, but
You came to look.
It's that damn phone.
Is the Naga King ate him, didn't they?
a few people will say yes. Some people won't say anything.
There's no body in there.
No.
Did
But
y'all
if
just
you're there, there is one shadified Silas just kind of looking at people.
So Silas,
Hey, hey, Bodhi Lee. I think I did good this time.
yeah,
Got a
no,
lot of views.
you definitely did that. Um, do you want these people standing around gawking at your room? Does this?
I prefer not, but kind of hard to shoo them away without a door
Yeah,
or a
no,
body.
that is. Gonna hop into the legend and uh, activate. Um, Why did I just scroll past it? Is going to activate, become manifest. So she's getting big and glowing fire and scary
Yeah.
looking, and then turning around to the students.
They'll all immediately just like run away.
Well, we got that. Um, do you feel any connection to your body at this moment?
Not really. I would have like a year ago, but I'm still me without the body. I mean, I don't. I'm a little concerned with like being dead. I don't know what that entails, but I think I finally did something I'm like really happy with my platform. It's hard to do that. They don't tell you that when you start.
No, they really don't. And you know, one thing you do have going for you is that you have certainly found a way to retire that will be remembered for long after you're gone. In
That
my pantheon in Buddhism, you go when you pass, you go and you work on yourself. It's not always pleasant. then you return. Do you want that? You won't come back as an influencer. You might not come back in this century. Do you feel that you're done with the life that you've led and are you ready to move on to the next phase?
I think so. I've I've done some things here, and it'd be nice to get another chance to do good.
All right. Tell your Ramajra I say hi. And
Well,
while Silas may not belong to this pantheon, if we send Silas somewhere else, he's not necessarily going to return. So we're sending him to the highest underworld.
okay. He just looks at you with a great appreciation and then goes on his way.
Now, turning around and getting back to business, so we have a snake monster that was bent on destruction and
Mhm.
wasn't really great on cleanliness. Do we have a trail to follow?
Yep, especially because it's raining. There it goes kind of into what do they call those things? I just was on college campus. The big green lawns that they have
Oh,
there.
like the quads?
Yeah, that it goes like to the quad and then like kind of like there's a fairly sizable hole that looks like it's been somewhat covered up, but like it's still clear that it went down into the earth.
Oh, so I'm not gonna make it easy. I'm gonna spend momentum
Mhm.
to unleash the hounds to lead the way.
Okay. Uh,
Using
they make it down, not down like
bag.
10 feet before they start to have to start digging.
Yeah, they are semi hound, semi
Mhm.
um, Cthulhu-esque beings of
Mhm.
creatures of that yeah, no, that they can dig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they start digging and digging. After about 20 feet added to like the 10 feet at top, uh, a not category, an earthquake hits.
Hmm.
Roughly, what do they call it? Levels, categories,
Magnitude.
Or magnitude?
roughly magnitude 5. So like sizable.
Yeah, something shake doesn't really break anything too bad. Things are falling off shelves. Not that no.
Um, he's just gonna go. All right, so Naga King, does it normally make earthquakes?
As you ask that, you hear some strumming in the distance.
Fuck.
Oh, it's the friend again.
Yep,
All right.
with his green galoshes and a green raincoat.
Um, By the way, I'm declaring this Naga King my quarry for the purposes of the most dangerous prey knack.
Hmm.
Okay. Oh, wouldn't- like twice in one day, huh? This is a treat.
It is a treat and a delight.
Yeah.
I did not plan on seeing you today. I don't really have many plans, but a certain somebody asked me to come and find you.
Oh, lovely. And who is this certain somebody?
Your mother, I believe.
Okay.
Oh, what did you do?
Well, there's certainly a couple things that they've done. I am going to roll a vibe check on this person
Yep.
um, on this. So um,
Here. Yeah. Let's do empathy, cunning, culture, cunning, culture. Yeah, you can do a culture cunning. That would work.
so hear me out here,
Hmm.
because mom doesn't show up,
Nope.
doesn't send people. Mom shows up in whatever forms version of mom best gets over the gets across her message.
Hmm.
We since this is specifically related to if this being is lying, subterfuge.
Yeah, I'll see that. I can see that.
Okay.
I'll assist. You know what? I'll assist with this.
And I'm gonna spend momentum just to get an extra dice on this one. Just for, probably, yeah. I've been doing some divinity type stuff, so this is technically maxing, probably maxing out the divinity dice. Okay. So that is 6 successes.
I
Um,
get
and,
Six
and,
successes.
and that was a flooded pool, or not a flooded pool, the pool, but that's all divinity dice.
I get
Um,
3 extra
I
dice,
guess it.
all in divinity. Yeah.
So you, Rex, as you watch, you are a god of war, or turning into a god of war, demigod of war. Uh, you're war-ish. You're looking at a god of war right now. Um, Bodhi,
Yeah.
uh, there is not a hint of a lie. There is a hint of misinformation in what they said. In the sense
Huh.
that you are correct. Mom never sends things. However, mom will allow other people to go in their place if they request it, and she believes it will get the job done.
Mm.
So, what does mom have to say?
It was me. Uh, I once fought the Naga King, and I thought maybe I could pass on some wisdom to you.
Take the wisdom. This is a Mama. This is a war god. Um,
And what advice do you have for me?
I overheard your conversation. You asked, or someone asked, can the Naga King cause earthquakes?
Oh, that was me.
Good question. In my experience, Naga King does not have power over earthquakes.
Well, fuck.
This Naga King certainly seems to be stronger, but also I sense the same love of destruction coming, leaking off of it. It took me millennia to battle the Naga King, and many places were destroyed in the wake of our battles. Be prepared.
I'm sorry. It took you a millennia to fight the Naga King?
Well, as well as the warriors of the Naga, yes.
Buddy, I don't know about you, but I don't know how a demigod works, but a whole millennium is a whole millennium. I don't know how that works for us.
Admittedly, I had no intention of destroying the Naga King, but sealing it away.
All right. So what was your name again?
I have not introduced myself. I do apologize. My name is Ratrastara, who preserves the Empire. It is a pleasure to meet you, young Paolo.
Well, it certainly is. It's an honor to meet you. When you trapped the Naga King and sent him away, was it a result of the final battle, or was there something else that came into play?
Huh. Don't. Rex is trying to put math together. And he's just gonna go, Buddy, say that one more time.
You're the trapping the Naga King
Hmm.
and locking him away.
Well, Alex didn't mention that. It could be possible, seeing as that might be your side of the deal. I don't know how that's related to my side of the deal, but I think if we dealt with like the fears, I think this might be the last thing. But it's weird because this feels off to me. Like you know, like the like someone upgraded SOLs without telling anyone. Because this feels a little bit of like an extra leap. You know, like it's a little bit more extra impossible, seeing as again. And what was your name, sir?
Ratrastara.
Right. Millennium. And we're expected to deal with this as fast as possible because Atusa can't handle any more um, Titanic destruction with an amped up Naga King. Do with that as you will. Oh wait. There is one thing I can do. There's one thing I can do. Figure out. I am going to activate my war domain. But this time, instead of this usual like red background, red like scene, it's everything is like golden. There's like battle lines. It's like playing what is not Classic Clans? Why did I think Classic Clans? No, like what is it? Civ, like Civilization, Civ 6. It's kind of like
Mhm.
outline everything like that. There's like maps and stuff outlined. Bodhi would see some of this. And uh Rex is looking at everything bird eye. Like he's trying to put together like battle lines and where everything
Right.
connects. And he's pointing that out to Bodhi.
If you're looking at Bird Eye, you notice that there's one thing that would stand out in this like vision, this mode you're taking. There is the the like reimagined Naga King with whatever like infusion was given to him. And he is like amassing or trying to amass this power to do destruction on Atusa. In the sky, there is this old Zeus who is doing the same thing.
Okay. So everything was unlocked. Our two tests are starting to blend together. This is how it's been set up, like I thought it was. Something tells me I think we're gonna have to take this. We might actually have to take our first test separately completely for the first time.
Yeah. Well,
Or we could cheat. As listen, okay, I know I'm supposed to do the whole heroic god thing. However, technically I am kingmaker of my pantheon, and there's no such thing as like playing by the rules. So tell me, Bodhi, do you want to do this honorably, or do you want Nolan? I'll use my old name. Do you want the Nolan? Let's cheat this out special.
well, without a self, there cannot be honor. So if you have no self, honor is a concept of those with a self. So let's get the job done.
Uh, Noel's gonna look at the other guy. Do you understand what she just said? Because I don't know if she wants to cheat or not. Like that was not.
Oh, I would love to explain to you. And then begins to explain, essentially like put you in a lecture.
Gosh, damn it! When okay, all right. You know what? We're just cheating this one out. Like I
It's only cheating if you are aware of the game and playing in the rules. If you just do the thing, it's not cheating.
great. I'm glad you said that.
So we're just going to do the thing.
Using that war domain. Hold on for 1 second. This is gonna get a little gnarly. Hey, He's calling old Zeus's name.
Okay,
You you can't actually do this if there's another god calling domain, and they're currently amassing power to usurp you before you can even get to Zeus. Do you really want that to happen?
excellent. So, how this is going to go down. As you say, Zeus, 20 lightning bolts hit Atusa simultaneously.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then they continue to do that every 5 seconds for the next 2 minutes. His face forms in the clouds and yells out, "World, I am Deus, and I am the God who is here to claim this land as my own. Worship me now and live."
Oh, that antagonistic part of him, the part that is somewhat titanic is coming out, that adversary. And he's just gonna go, hey, listen, unfortunately, I gotta say, would love to help you do that. However, there's new rules now. So if you come down here, I can tell you the new rules so you can win. Or I have to activate the whole bad thing that happens whenever someone tries to break the rules. Bodhi, don't say anything.
Another minute surges Atusa as he is just raining lightning bolts down.
Okay. Um, and with that war domain, um, gonna flood the dive, gonna flood the pool. He is activating legendary title, the Kingmaker. He's now allowing anyone above him to claim any domain. No king above him can make any claim until they meet his terms.
Interesting. Okay, so then what we're going to do, because based on his titles, they do technically cancel out. So I would need to have a roll off.
That's fine.
He is technically 1 tier above you, so he just has enhancement, two successes on the roll.
Gotcha.
We're
I
gonna
like
help
this.
our friend here.
Okay.
All right, so what is the role?
Uh, if you're how are you helping out your friend? I guess.
Zeus is trying to make a show that he is powerful and that he has.
Just a clarification in case it matters. He's not showing that he's powerful. He's actively killing people.
Well, that's the thing. No,
Mm-hmm.
with the domain in health and domain in death, where Zeus is trying
Mm-hmm.
to kill people.
So then I would say I keep doing a code. No, let's do a survival and then your favorite power stat. So intellect, might, or presence.
I feel might is appropriate for what accounts to going up against a god, head to head. So yeah, I'll do
All
that.
right.
1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
Okay. 4 successes. Rex.
I am also going to add Power Grab. Your rise to power will be legendary. Once per scene, imbue for scale when attempting to usurp someone's leadership.
All right.
And what would you say would be an appropriate role for this?
I'm also going to give you one of the power stats just because like it is a head-to-head type thing.
Mhm.
Actually, no. For you, I would say a finesse stat and then leadership. So cunning or manipulation makes the most sense, and leadership.
Okay. Honey and leadership. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 5, 9.
All right. Even splitting up some successes to Bodhi and some successes to Rex. Uh, Deus still had more successes. And so while you're able to slow the deaths and potentially slow his rise to power, it seems like there's just too much rage that you are unable to suppress it immediately.
Okay, I know what to do. All right. Would he be considered an since he's striking out people like this, he would be considered an immortal monster, right?
I For what purpose? Because
Because
yeah, for what purpose?
he's not for the purpose of like defying him.
Uh, I'm going to say sure.
Okay.
Um,
Let me let me clarify. Let me be a little bit more specific because yeah, even for me, I'm like that's too fake. I immortal monster as in the same way that like we were dealing with a certain immortal that was going around killing and eating things and like a certain Dracula dealing with someone who can't be killed technically.
oh, no, he is technically mortal.
Oh, he's technically mortal.
More mortal than a certain Dracula. Yeah.
Oh, oh,
That he is divine, like he has ascended, but due to certain things in his past and where he's been, he is more mortal than she.
oh. Then hold on. Then fuck him. Then hold on.
But I want to be very clear: mortal, but incredibly powerful.
Right. He's still getting it's still getting amped up with nihilistic needle, which deals
Okay.
with folks like him. Like imbuing like all of that, like declaration of power, his domain. Um, Bodhi, you see like a dark lightning. It's not necessarily a bolt, but it's like a spear, and he's attached like a moon to it, something familiar from Nyx. And you just watch as he lobs this thing off, all that power combined, and is aiming in that direction, um, lobbing it at this dude.
All
I'm not
right.
calling him a god. He's getting called a dude.
You don't even get that title. Give me that attack roll.
I just a real quick question.
Yeah.
Zeus is actually trying to intimidate us with this display of power, right?
So I'm going to say no, only because for me, I'm thinking about intimidation as I am doing this so that you will back down, so that I don't have to do this anymore. He's not doing that. He's just mad and wants everyone dead. So in that way, it's not intimidation for
Bitch
me.
getting hit with a he getting hit with a 10.
10. Oh,
because it's the additional part with what is it called? It's the actual perk of the
Yep,
stylistic needle.
it was crafted for one reason.
Yep.
And a 10 absolutely does hit. You don't have enough to buy a critical stunt. Do you have? Did we put any other stunts on that?
Um. Oh, it gets like a enhancement. Enhancement. It's a enhancement one to defeat opponents of equal or greater strength, and it's tier two to defeat divine beings
Yeah,
in Greek pantheon.
which is who this is. Yeah. So with that hit, you do hear the scream, and an immediate receding of of the clouds.
Oh yeah, I'm hitting him. Spinning momentum and hitting him with World Spinner, the additional part to that. Um,
Mhm.
from there, and I'm just gonna go like, yeah, he's gonna come down in just a moment, Bodhi. We're gonna have a little discussion on what works and what doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
What does World Spinner do?
It creates an environmental complication.
Oh, um,
Equal to my adversary dots, which is what is it? I believe three. Yeah, three.
he is going to teleport away. And it's yeah, it's getting to nighttime now. So yeah, he's going to teleport away.
Okay. Well, you just watched that needle come right back. Well, it seems our friend, or at least one of our friends, has realized that they can't just do whatever they want. Um, but now to create the other part of this complication.
Mm-hmm.
What pantheon did you say this our buddy was from?
The Naga King?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, um, it occurs in several. Mine, the Shen, the Kami, probably the Devas. Pretty much any Asian, or at least mainland Asian based. I don't know so much about the island ones, but
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Don't worry, I have this under control. Just using Doug's account, which I am technically Doug, so I'm just gonna text a few on his contact list and just say that the Naga King has said that he declares himself king of all Asian Pacific gods in Atusa, and that no one shall declare anything above him. I am I am adding my adversary role to this. I am basically starting shit. I'm the shit starter. That is also part of my purview of just like, uh-huh, 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 send. And then he's also added that to the aunties uh chat list. So like all the aunties on that call list, he's adding that there. So
Mm-hmm.
basically he's just like he's egging that on like now that the aunties know they're gonna start a room and start doing all
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
talking. And that's gonna get back to by the end of today, the Naga King might be jumped by several people. And then I'm just going to go, yeah, but Bodhi Lee said that that's not true. She declared and adding Bodhi Lee's mother there and adding, embellishing a lot of stuff about Bodhi
Right.
Lee. Yeah, Bodhi Lee said that she could possibly take them if provided that she gets her support, which she really should, because look at all the great just flooding this and causing a bunch of chaos for the Naga King, but boosting Bodhi Lee up. I'm like, okay, I don't know how they text you or call you or whatever, but I would wait for a text, Bodhi.
My uncle stay here. Just gonna turn and be like, this is how they reach me.
Or wait for a carrier pigeon. I don't know how. Like,
Would
or wait for our friend here to like sing a song about it. It is probably going to come down that line.
you like me to sing a song?
Not yet, not yet, not until you get the message to sing about what's about to go down.
Good. And then he starts to sing a song about the destruction of an ancient city. That was it.
Wow.
That's it. Yeah. Because it's never with him. Uh,
No, he's worse than Alex.
gonna do culture. Because there's always a hitting meeting.
Yeah. Culture cunning.
Wow. Hold on, I have to re-roll that dice pool. That is all successes because
Oh dang.
that exploded into a 9. So yeah, that is 7 successes.
So of course there is a hitting meaning. Um, and a lot of the hitting meaning comes down to will you go for the quick victory that will potentially risk many lives, or the long victory that theoretically will save many more. And the risk of going for the quick victory with an enemy this powerful.
So the moral of the song is that taking the long road to taking care of the Naga King will result in less death.
Uh, you can say that. Essentially, with your what was it, 7 successes, 9 successes.
7
Um,
successes, yeah.
It's a story about when he initially fought the Naga King, believing he could instantly kill the Naga King. And every time he confronted the Naga King without being sufficiently prepared, the Naga King would like destroy a city or would come back stronger or all these things without taking into account the potential danger that this enemy could do. Also, with your 7 successes, you get this like while Bratastra does really embody this, like there is no self, there is a specific type of hatred coming from it where you're like, there's still a little bit of self in there. Like there is a you who hates him.
Yeah. Yeah. So does the song happen to give any indication of how he was unprepared and what the final preparations entailed to defeat?
Yes.
Yes.
Some prepares. So he was unprepared in that he uh believed he was stronger. And so he just said, if I fight him, it will be I will fight, you will fight, and then we will win. The Naga King did not care about fighting him. The Naga King just cared about destruction. And so while they were fighting, the Naga King would effectively just cause destruction around without and play defense rather than like engaging in combat. This is not a I am fighting you type thing with the Naga King. This is a I need to protect the world while being able to stop you because the longer because if I'm not protecting the world, you will just take that as an opportunity to do what it is you want to do, which is destroy. And unfortunately, the Night King is not an enemy that you can kill with one, two hits, etc. The world needs to be protected because in the time it takes for you to kill the Naga King, the world will be destroyed.
Wait, you've done this before. You can do this.
Yeah, but that's kind of what the song was about, and how his failures to um, defeat the Naga King, uh, because he was focused on defeating the Naga King and not protecting those from the damage that the Naga King has done or is doing. The Naga King's goal is destruction. It's going to, it may engage in combat, but will take, is not, goal isn't winning the fight, it's blowing up the ring. Imagine a boxer who just doesn't care what happens in the fight and puts pipe bombs under all the seats. It's okay, but if it gets knocked down, when it hits the mat, all the bombs go off. That's the Naga King.
Okay. Think I
So
know how to fight.
the way to defeat it is not to defeat it head on, but is protect the world from it.
Um, watch Rex take out another phone and hands it off to you. Listen, I know worldly things, but listen, this does not have any social media on it. This only has the essentials, but also um I'm giving you control of like our whole emergency network and the rescue system.
Okay.
Like all of it. Like everything made and dug up, that is all you.
All right. I'll take a look at it.
Also, you have all the emergency funds that we've gathered and yeah, all the stuff for recreation, restoration, all of that. Um, there might be control of the police force. Don't ask how I was able to wrangle that up, but I work on things underhandedly, so you don't have to. Anyways, what I'm saying is, I have now found an epiphany of what my role is as far as you are concerned. My job was to make sure you got to sit on that whole God throne thingy.
All right.
I, I mean, as an aspect, but like still, like eh, someone who's a kingmaker, someone whose journey is becoming, well, not necessarily a king, but someone like in higher authority, but not like in that way of like dominating with it. Semantics. Here's the thing. I believe that you will do great things. I'm turning over that control because I think I know what I have to do, and I don't want my thing interfering with your thing. Still
All
got
right.
me in Gordon, still backing you up, but
All right.
I, I'm your backup.
All right.
Great. Also, hopefully this gives me karma for the thing I have to do.
Okay.
Okay, I may have to crash at your mom's apartment for like maybe a couple of millennia, maybe 2 millennia, if this doesn't work out, or if I do so much destruction that I can't go back home anyways.
All right.
All right, great.
So with this kind of parting, where are we going now?
I think it's a good time to save it for next week, and
Well,
it's a good cliffhanger.
there is one thing that is going to happen before next week, which is why I was asking. Because if this is the last thing, I will say, have you heard of a mega tsunami?
Oh wow, yeah.
Um, and of course, Atusa is on the coast. Um, you find out two things. One, a mega tsunami is on its way. And two, the sun, uh, wherever it's showing on the earth, is rising temperatures, upwards of 20 degrees. Um, it appears that these two, while they might not be at the pinnacle of their power, are getting ready to attack. I think we all have our plans, and I agree. This is the perfect time to take a little break until next week. Thank you all for playing as we begin this climatic arc. Thank you all for watching. Before we leave, as always, let's do our introductions. This time we'll start with Zachary. Please tell us who you are, who you're playing, and what is Bodhi feeling right about now?
Uh, Hello, I am Zachary Naldrahide, and I've been playing Bodhi Lee, born Scion of Tara of the Pious. And every week I pronounce that wrong. Um, so she's understanding of what she's been told. The story is, um, but how do we stop the destruction if they don't find the King Naga King? So that's going to be on the to-do list, probably. Might need to call an evacuation on this new phone that she has, but yeah.
Right, very nice. Pearl, same questions. Who are you? Who are you playing? And what is Rex feeling right about now?
Hi, I'm Crow. I played Rex. Um, so Rex knows that if he stays around Bodhi, he is going to bring destruction and blow, potentially mess up Bodhi's path.
Mhm.
And he knows that's where Bodhi's have always been set up. Rex, on the other hand, is just like, yeah, I know I can't save the city. That is not my calling. My calling is to not only put uh, butts in seats, especially of the king variety, but also my job is to be like every villain known to man to this pantheon to put them back into like a relatively workable state, but also he is basically one of the kingmakers of like Game of Thrones, and that's his job. He's about to crash out, and
All right. Well, I am very excited for it next week. I hope you all have a great week. And until then, have a good one.